Welcome pilots, Maki speaking. Today I want to give you a few simple tips that may help you improving in air combat. You might be already aware of this, but this guide is for whoever tries to approach the realistic and simulator battles for the first time, or for whoever struggles to get results that satisfy him. This guide would be a first introduction, especially related to pro planes, so do not expect anything too deep. In an air combat scenario, the two most important things are situational awareness and energy management. The first consists in knowing where you are and what is going on around you. This is achievable by looking around you constantly, by trying to observe carefully every detail to analyze the combat situation at best. This not only means training your sight to spot enemy aircrafts, but also being able to evaluate the enemy aircraft situation in terms of altitude, speed, and intentions. So, what is the enemy doing? If he is approaching you, keeping the distance, or if he hasn't noticed you yet. On top of that, with some practice, you would also be able to evaluate what are the strengths and weaknesses of different aircrafts compared to yours. This means that it will take some time, some mistakes, but it will be worth and improvements will come soon. For what concerns the energy management, it revolves around two basic values: speed and altitude. The first one is indicated as kinetic energy, or rather the energy that your aircraft possesses due to its motion, that is readily available to be spent in a wide range of maneuvers. The other one is indicated as potential energy, in our case gravitational potential energy, or else the energy that your aircraft has stored during a climb and is dependent on the position compared to the others, that is not yet available to be used. Both these energies can be converted into each other, but in the case of converting kinetic energy into potential, we will have an inevitable loss due to the actions of drag or other dissipative phenomena. This concept alone would be enough to prove the importance of having an altitude advantage over the enemy, but furthermore, having the high ground would give you an advantage in situational awareness, since you would have a significantly better point of view and field of view compared to lower altitude planes. Concluding the first topic, the best advice is to always climb and be sure to be higher than the enemy. If you find yourself consistently lower than enemy planes match by match, consider trying to side climb, in the sense of climbing sideways compared to the direction of takeoff or encounter with the enemy team. On top of that, always prioritize the highest enemy over the others. Work your way down from the top to the bottom. Do not get drawn by the first target you spot. Be sure that all the enemies got spotted and you know their rough location before engaging. With time and experience, you will start to learn the strengths and weaknesses of every plane, firstly yours, because you might need to adapt your game style compared to the enemy you're fighting in that moment. Once you should use your engine advantage, once your turn rate advantage, so be sure to study all the planes in game. In the end, do not be hasty. Air combat is a matter of patience, careful planning, and better execution. It's very similar to a chess game. If you follow the basic rules closely, you would be able to come out on top on your own against all odds. One other important change you should do if you haven't already is to expand your HUD settings to give you all the possible information, such as IAS, indicating the edge speed, altimeter, fuel left, ammo left, oil and water temperature, and engine temperature. The final HUD improvement you should do is about your aiming circle and crosshair. Try to find a color that stands up against most of the map's colors in every weather and time of the day situation. As of myself, I use first crosshair and the yellow color. As a final tip, I strongly suggest you to change your controls from the default ones. Be sure to keep the mouse aiming, since swapping to other controls would give you a disadvantage, but disable the following setting. In the end, try multiple configurations until you find the one that suits your need the most. I will share my own controls. You will find the file in the description, but be aware that they are meant to be used with a mouse with at least 5 buttons. The reason being to achieve a better control of all the plane's most important aspects without overloading one end. I hope you all found this guide useful. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions or requests for me to cover. Until next time, clear skies.